Hey, Leverett KT, hold up real quick. Hold up like 2 minutes. Huh? Yeah. I got ready. Welcome to the R1P, the Upset College Football Studio. I'm your host, LLCOOLBRAD. Today we're going to be taking a look at the biggest top 5 games of the week, what I think, and who's going to win those games. Um, the top 25 poll, college football recruiting, and some of the best recruits playing in from the 2020 class that are playing right now. Let's get into it. So for the first game, we're talking about Michigan versus Minnesota. Personally, I think this is going to be a dog fight. It's in the big house at the big house at 7:30 p.m. I think that it's going to be a dog fight, and I think it's going to be at least. I think Joe Milton does a pretty good job taking care of the ball. It's going to be interesting watching him. He can run, he can throw. He's a dual threat. It's going to be interesting seeing him play. But not Oklahoma, Minnesota, they've been playing really good this season. They've been playing really good the past few years, and I think that they can do some good things this game, running the ball and passing the ball. We have to stop the rushing game because they rush on an average 130 yards every single game for rushing yards. We have to stop that and be able to move the ball effectively to win that game. I think the final score is going to be probably 35-31. On to the next game. We are going to be doing NC State versus North Carolina, a battle of two ACC teams. Number 17, North Carolina versus number 24, number 23, NC State. I think this is gonna be it's gonna be an interesting game because both teams are well. NC State is 4-1. North Carolina is 3-1. Both of them have played some really good competition, and I think they can both move the ball really well. Both of their defenses are really good. They don't allow more than 20 points a game. I really think that it's going to be another dogfight, and that's why I picked this game. Um, so yeah, I think this game's going to come down to the wire. I think it's going to be NC State with an upset over North Carolina, 28-21. On to the next game. We got Iowa State versus Oklahoma State. Number 6 versus I think it's number 15. If I'm wrong, then we'll see. But yeah, it's going to be a really good game. Oklahoma State, I'm going to say this, they haven't played the best competition this year so far, though, because they've only played Kansas, West Virginia, and what was it? It was, I think it was Baylor. That was postponed. Um, I don't remember the last one though. They haven't played the best competition this year. Neither has Iowa State, but I still feel like Oklahoma State is gonna win by at least 2 scores. Oklahoma State, Chuba Hubbard. I've been watching him all season. He has 339 yards on the season already out of 3 games. That's pretty impressive if you ask me. I don't. It's gonna be interesting to see if he goes pro or if he stays playing football this next year. It's gonna be interesting. I would like to see him go pro this year, but if he decides to stay, I wouldn't be mad at that either. Um, Iowa State, they got some good weapons in the wide receiver core. Their defense just struggles a little bit stopping the run. They give up I think it's more than 100 yards every single game. They need to work better on that, and they just need to stop the run for Oklahoma, and they need to stop Chuba Hubbard. So I think this game, it's not going to be the best game, but I think it's going to be at least. I think the game's going to be 28-14, 14-point game. All right, on to the next game. We got Maryland versus Northwestern. Two good opponents. This is going to be a good. Why I chose this game, they both didn't do the best last season, and that's why I picked this game because they're both at around the same. Uh, their stats are really similar to each other's, and that's going to be really interesting because if they're the same, then it's going to be close. Um, Northwestern last year they didn't do too well. I believe they went they went 2-10 I think. Maryland didn't do the best either, but I feel Maryland and Northwestern have done really good things with recruiting. I should have mentioned some of the recruits from the last games, but I'll mention those later. Um, so for Northwestern, they have the number 49th national ranked recruiting class so far. Their best recruit is Najee Story. He is a SDE. He is a 4-star, and then that they have Most of their recruits right now are on the defensive side of the ball. Their best recruits, they have a new running back, Anthony Tyus the third. He's looking pretty good. I watched some of his highlights. He's been looking really good to me. So I think that's going to be good for them going into 2021. Um, but yeah, I think they're going to be good um, next year. But for this year, they have the 47th best recruiting class. And their best recruit that's going to be playing in this game is Peter Skaronsky. I don't know how to say that, but he's an offensive tackle. And then they follow with Cameron Porter, a 3-star running back. That is going to be a good thing for them because their running game last year wasn't the best. Either was their passing game. So they need to improve in those spots, and I think those recruits are going to do the job for them. Um, but now for Maryland, they have for 2021 they have the number 19th recruiting class. They pulled in Damian Robinson. He's a wideout. He is the number 59th player in the country. And then they pulled in Marcus Bradley. He's a 4-star, and he is the number 175th recruit. He's a defensive tackle too. That's going to be really good for their defense for 2021. They're the 4th best recruiting class in the Big Ten for 2021. And then in 2020, they are to the number 31st recruiting class. I think this is the main thing that happens in Maryland. Their coaching, I wouldn't say it's not the best, but they don't use their recruits in the best way because they always get good they always get good recruits. The year before 2020, 2019, they were the number 11th recruiting class. Like some of these players, they have talent. All of them do. Like the big recruits, but they just aren't coached right. But in 2020, their best recruit was a 5-star wide receiver, number 27th in the country, Raheem Jarrett. This kid can run. He's from Washington D.C., St. John's. He he can run, bro. He runs a 4.34. Uh, it's gonna be good. He's gonna be a good player. Next this upcoming game. Same with their next recruit, Ruben Hypolite. That's a weird last name. The second, he's an offensive linebacker. He's a 4-star, and he's the 254th best recruit in the nation. He's got speed. He doesn't have the best speed. He has speed, but his elusiveness is on a whole different level. You don't see it every single day. Uh, I would recommend following him this season. On to the, oh yeah, I didn't give my prediction. So I'm gonna say this game is a dogfight till the end. I'm saying Nah, that's just a hard one too because both teams they have similar stats and all that. Um, I'm gonna say one of them gets a safety, so I'm gonna say 22-20. On to the next. Maryland. On to the next game. This next game we are doing Illinois versus Wisconsin. A new show just came out today. Jalen the journalist's new show. He was talking about this game and all the key things of how Illinois is going to have to do to win this game. So I would go recommend checking that out after this. But to start off, Illinois recruiting class, they're for 2021, their best recruit right now is Brody Wise Carver. He's an offensive guard. He's a 3-star, and he is the 458th recruit in the nation. And then a newly recruit that just committed not too long ago, about a month ago, Chevy Brenson, wide receiver. He's a 3-star, and he is the 932nd recruit in the nation. I think he has a lot of potential because it's not his speed, but his route running. He can do really good routes on people and make people mess up really, really easily in the secondary. So I think that's somebody to watch next season. But their 2020 recruiting, they're number 13th in the Big Ten in 2021. But their 2020 recruiting class, um, they're the number 88th and they're the 14th best. James Frenchie is their best commit for 2020. He is an he is a 3-star and he is the 407th best recruit in the nation. He has he I don't know. I don't really like him that much. He kind of gives me some like bust vibes. I don't He can get injured easily too. I was looking at his like stats and stuff and it said that he got injured like 2 times, or it was 2 or 3 times in a high school career, and it was knee injuries, so that's going to be concerning to watch out for. But if he can stay healthy, he's going to be a really good wide receiver. And then their next best recruit is Reggie Love. He's a running back, and he's the 429th best recruit in the nation. Um, they both come from the same school, so that's going to be cool for them to play together since they're teammates. Um, it's a similar thing with CMU too. They have 3 kids from Dakota High School in Michigan. They all committed to CMU, so that's going to be really cool for them to play with each other. But yeah, it's a similar situation. So I think the chemistry is going to be obviously really good between the two. So that's going to be a cool duo to watch out for this season. Maryland's. Oh wait, shoot, not Maryland's. Wisconsin. Hold up, let me find it real quick. Wisconsin. All right. Wisconsin has the number 16th recruiting class in the nation, third in the Big Ten. They have just about a month ago, Nolan Rusi, the number 5th offensive tackle in the nation, 5-star, 14th recruit in the nation. This guy can really, really block for you. If you're a matchup against him and you're a defensive tackle, bro, just get out the way, bro. He's gonna plow you over, bro. You're gonna end up on the ground in like 2 seconds, bro. It's not even gonna be funny. It's not even gonna be. You're not gonna have a chance. Um, and then their best next recruit, JP Benz Shawile. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but if that's right, then I'm a genius. Uh, he's an offensive tackle. He is the 128th best recruit in the nation. He's a 4-star. Um, their best 3 recruits are offensive tackles. No surprise. Wisconsin is a offensive tackle like school pretty much. They birth offensive tackles and just build them up. So if you're a running back, like consider that school heavily because you got really good people blocking for you. Um, about this game, Jalen said that Illinois was gonna win. I agree with that in some way, but it's going to be hard for the defensive line for Illinois to break free and tackle. I don't know their running back that's going to be starting yet. I'm going to look back at the 2020 recruiting class for them real quick. They had the number 26th in the nation, 5th in the Big Ten, and then their top 2 are offensive tackle, and then they have Jalen Berger. He is the 136th best recruit in the nation. He's a running back, 4-star. So that I'm assuming he's going to be the starter. So I think he's going to go off pretty much because he's got a lot of offensive tackle, really, really good offensive tackles blocking for him. So that's going to be hard for Illinois' defense to break through that offensive line. But it's going to be another, like, Illinois has a good secondary and stuff like that. They're gonna be good against the pass, I think. If they can pressure the quarterback and get through the offensive line, that's a huge thing for them because then they can't get the run off, and then they have to go to the pass, which they don't go to very often. So I'm gonna go Illinois. I don't know. It's a hard game too. I don't think it's gonna be high scoring either. Um, 13-7 Illinois. On to the next game. Um, now we have a recruit that is playing this year. His name is his name is his name is what's his name? His name is hold on, I'm trying to find it. His name is Kayshawn Buets. He is a wide receiver for LSU. This year so far, he has gotten 9 receptions for 101 yards and 11.2 average per reception. This guy, he's been an in and out type of guy. He's been sharing reps with some of the new receivers and some of the veterans. He's definitely got more playing time because Jamar Chase is set out the season. So I think he's gonna be good throughout the season. So yeah, on to the next guy, Brian Breezy. He was the best recruit in 2020. He is an SDE. He hasn't had the best season so far. He's only had 7 total tackles, 3 solo, and 1.5 sacks. This guy, I don't know. He doesn't look the best, but a lot of things have been going. Like when in training camp before the season even started, the coaches were saying he was a really good player and stuff like that. So I would just give him time. It's not too far into the season yet, so I just give him time. It's only his first year too, so he's just getting used to and he's adapting to the new competition. On to the next guy, John Robinson. This guy, B. John Robinson, this guy is a beast. In high school, he had a game where he ran for over 500 yards, bro. You don't see that every day. This man is gonna be special. He reminds me a little bit of, I would say, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry with more speed. He can truck people, like like stiff arm people, like throw them out the damn building, bro. Like he is a really good guy to be watching out for this season. He's not the starter, but he hasn't had the most stats so far, but he's gotten 14 rushing attempts for 67 yards and 5 receptions for 59 yards. On to the next guy. Jordan Birch. Jordan Birch, defensive tackle, South Carolina. This season he has gotten 10 total tackles and 6 solo tackles. Uh, if you really want a guy, this guy, he can break through offensive line very well. He knows how to trick the offensive line and make them think that something else is happening when it's really not. So then he can throw them off guard to get to the quarterback easily. So I think he's gonna be a 4-year starter. So he's gonna be a guy to look out for too. I wouldn't say he's gonna be the best player that comes out of out of these players, but he's gonna be a decent player. Um, on the on the season, he's had 10 total tackles and 6 solo tackles. On to the next guy. Um, so we got well, yep, Eric Jones. All right, so hold up, let me find him. All right. So he is an offensive tackle, and he committed to Georgia. He hasn't got any playing time, but he is a good guy to be looking out for. He can really block. It's surprising that he didn't go to Wisconsin. He got pretty well recruited by them. He has a lot of speed, so if you're matching up against him, it's going to be hard to get through to the quarterback. He's really good with that. So I'm gonna say he's in the top 5 out of these players that I'm mentioning. And I say he goes at least second or third round in the draft. On to the next guy. All right, so we got hold up. We got Miles Murphy. He's an SDE. He's from Clemson. This guy, I mean, this guy, it's hard to tell though. He's had a lot of injuries in his high school career, but his senior season is when he really stepped up and got all his offers. So it's really hard to tell what he's gonna do this season or what he's gonna do in his career. But I would still watch for him because his senior season was terrific. If he can keep that up at the college level, he's gonna be a really good player, and a lot of NFL teams are gonna be interested in him. So I would say he's gonna go probably end of the second round. No, end of the third round, start of the fourth round. This season he has gotten um 21 total tackles, 10 solo tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and 3.5 sacks. He's been doing pretty good this season. On to the next guy. All right, so we got Eric Gilbert, tight end from LSU. He's a standout right now for me. He has been, I believe, their starting tight ender. He's been sharing reps with another tight end. I don't know the name of yet, but I'm gonna keep an eye on LSU. They haven't been doing the best this year. It's because their defense is just they've lost so many pieces to the draft, though. You have to take that in consideration too. But they should have been ready, and they should be. I feel like it's a letdown for if you're an LSU fan, bro. Like you gotta wonder what's happening there in the coaching staff, bro. They're like in what's happening with the defensive coordinator, bro. They have a lot of pieces still on the defense. They just need to use them in the right way. So, but yeah, even though they haven't been doing the best, he's gotten 14 receptions for 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an average of 12.6 yards per reception. On to the next guy. We have Bryce Young. He's a dual threat quarterback from Alabama. He hasn't got the most playing time either this season because they have a different quarterback in. He is 5 for 8 for 54 yards. His longest throw is 20 for 23 yards. I think they're mainly going to use him for the first 2 years for a more of a fourth and short, third and short type of guy because he's a dual threat. He can run obviously. Um, so I'm gonna think they're gonna use him more as a running QB more than a pocket in putting him in like first down after the first 2 years. At the set like his third year, fourth year, he's probably gonna be starting. Uh, he was really good in high school. He had over in his senior season he had 2,896 yards, um, 15 touchdowns, and 5 rushing touchdowns. He only threw 2 interceptions, and the those were in the playoffs. So he's a guy to look forward to. He's gonna be I'm gonna say he's the second best player out of these players. On to the next guy. All right, yep, we got the top 25 AP poll. We got some of the teams that I agree with being on here are the one of the teams I some of the teams I don't agree that are should be on here. But I mean, like there hasn't really been any other teams playing too often. Well, they haven't been playing at all yet. So I mean, it makes sense. But after these other teams, like these big conferences, Big Ten, uh, the what's it called, Pac-12, they're gonna take the spots of them. It's Oklahoma State and BYU. BYU, they're 4-0, and so in Oklahoma State is 3-0. They haven't played that good a competition at all. Um, I don't think they're going to be ranked after week uh week 10. Week 10 they're not going to be ranked at all, I don't think. Um another team I disagree with. Another team I disagree with would be with would be Iowa State. Iowa State, they haven't played the best comp either. They play Oklahoma State, which we touched on earlier. Um they play at 3:30 p.m. I don't think they've dropped 4 slots from last week at when they lost. They're gonna lose, I think, again to Oklahoma State. So I think they're gonna be not ranked after this week. Um, Teams I think that should be in the top 25 are I still think Auburn should be in the top 25 because there's some teams with 2 losses like 2 losses with like no, there's not 2 losses, but there's 1 loss teams like Texas A&M, Florida, Miami, Iowa State, Virginia Tech, Kansas State, Coastal Carolina. But yeah. Oh wait, no, there is a team, Oklahoma. I don't think they should be ranked at all right now. 2-2, they're not doing good at all. Uh, I think that Auburn should take their place right now. They should be right there. Um, and then another team I would say that should be ranked right now is probably Army. Army, they haven't played the best competition, but they've shown a lot of talent on their team, and I think they can be ranked at that they can be ranked after this week. And they will finish in the top 25 this year. Um, but yeah, on to the next segment. All right, what is it again? No, they almost lost to they almost lost to Louisville last week, 13-7. That's not good at all. If you're the number 4 team, you should be blowing out teams like that. Like that's not. I don't think so. They're gonna be. I don't even think they're gonna be ranked at the end of the season. I don't. I don't. I don't see it. Miami. I would say they're. I would say they're in the middle. They are overhyped by their fans, but outside, they're not the most hyped up. I would think they're a good team. They just need work on some of their defense and some of their offensive line. They just need some work on that. If they get good recruits like offensive line and some go out good defense, defensive players and recruits, they should be a top 25 the next few years. I think so, even though I don't like to admit it 'cause I'm a Michigan fan. Yes, I think so. Yes. Justin Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence. Both of them are very, very good QBs. Um, both of them are very, very good QBs. I just think that Trevor Lawrence is going to be the better player. You don't see talent like Trevor Lawrence. He is like a 1 in 15 year prospect that you see or player that you see at quarterback. He is not a normal quarterback. Neither is Justin Fields, but I feel like Trevor Lawrence is just different. He can run the ball, he can throw the ball. So can Justin Fields, but it's more about finding open targets and throwing the right passes. So I think Trevor Lawrence is the best out of those two. Of course you do. Uh, I'm gonna say this: he is overpaid. He is overpaid. He gets 24 million a year. Uh, he's a bit overpaid. I'd say. I'd say cut 5 million off that, but uh, he needs to do better. He needs to do better. He just does. He needs to work on the offense. He needs to find not a new scheme, but he needs to find um better ways of bringing players up, of just creating better talent and uh upgrading that talent from what it already is. Trevor Lawrence, whoever uh is the worst team, but I am saying either the Jets or the I'm gonna say the Jets or the Giants. Jets or Giants. Trey Lance is a really, really good QB. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, he is a really good QB. He would do really, really good at FBS level. It would be interesting to see him play though. He has played a few games in his career facing FBS teams. He was supposed to play Oregon this year before everything got postponed and rescheduled, and then. But yeah, I don't know though. Trey Lance, he kind of worries me a little bit, even though he is a really good QB. He worries me a little bit because he plays FCS teams, so they're not the best competition towards them. So if he played FBS, I would say yes, but I'm gonna say Justin Fields is better. Ooh, yeah, I like that. Pick of the week. My pick of the week is gonna be that um, what's it called? Uh, what's it called? Penn State's gonna lose this week. That's gonna be mine. That's gonna be my cool pick of the week. South Carolina this year only though. Because their defense is just not playing well at all. They've given up some of the most yards in the FBS so far. It's just not looking good for them. I'd say best they can go 7-5 best for LSU. South Carolina, I just feel is a better balanced team right now. They can make it to a bowl game. I think they can go uh 8-5 or 9-4. Uh, Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate all you guys. And that's gonna do it for me at the R1P studio. Let me turn off my TV real quick. Uh, and peace, guys. I appreciate all you.